You know what I'm saying? He done came bringing plants. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, you got it.
Come on over here. Come back to John chapter 6. What's going on, young man? What's happening with you, man? Boy, you got that shirt on like, boy, you got some guns up under there, boy. I don't see nothing but a starter pistol. Hold on one second, man. That thing stopped. John 6:30, y'all. So he says, they said therefore unto him, what sign show thou then that we may see and believe thee? What does thou work? Our fathers did eat manna in the desert, as it is written, he gave them bread from Shamahim to eat. Then Yahushua said unto them, truly, truly, I say unto you, Moses gave you not that bread from Shamahim, but my Father give you the true bread from Shamahim. For the bread of Elohim is which come down from Shamahim and give life unto the world. That's what he was saying. Then people sat back and said, man, we finna die from hunger. He rained that down to give life unto the world. That's why he say, man, what man being a father, if his children ask for bread, give him a stone. You gotta remember, if this Exodus 16, he began to bring the tablets to the 20th chapter. What you looking for, Neptali? Oh, go through there, right? And where you see the washing machine at, where that door, where that washing machine at?
I ain't thinking that, boy. How if he would have messed up?
Yeah, he got to tempt him. That's why he told the disciples in Luke 22, you are those who are with me in my temptations. If he slip at any time, it's over. Go ahead.
And then that's when Peter, he was like, get behind me, Satan.
Yeah, because he was saying, you regard the things that be of man and not of Elohim. If I can get you to slip, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The whole thing fails. Everything fails. You know what I'm saying? Everything fails. That's why I was telling y'all this last night. If the man know you got something to do, you got to understand something, right? I put it to you like this. Understand this. When the unclean spirit was in the swine and the man, before he cast it in the swine, what's the first thing the unclean spirit said when it seen Michelle?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Y'all all right? We know y'all be on the same time, but we seen that picture y'all had up on the stair chilling.
Yeah. He said the demons was like, is it our time to torment us?
He said, you come to torment us before the time? He said, we know who you are. You Yahushua, son of Elohim. He said, man, be quiet. Don't tell nobody who I am. So then check it, right? Then you go look in Acts, right? When the unclean spirit was in that woman. And they went to crying out, these be the servants of the Most High Elohim that show us the way of salvation. They knew who he was. When the people who weren't walking with them, who didn't have no ruach, were casting demons out in the name of Yahushua, they say, Yahushua, we know. Paul, we know. Who are you? You know what I'm saying? This is why I was telling y'all last night. When the stars come out, and you see the stars in Shamahim, that's somebody's name written up there. That ain't just, them stars just ain't there for no reason. That is the book of life written up there. You see the sun in the skies in the daytime, you see the Father. That's the greater light. When around you come nighttime, the lesser light, the moon come out, who's the faithful witness, that's Mashiach. And the stars are there with him. You know what I'm saying? That's your name written up there. You know what I'm saying? You got to literally realize when you look up to the skies and see the stars in the sky, you seeing your name. If you obeying, because he say those that fear Yah spake often one to another. And he say he wrote a book of remembrance for those who thought upon his name. And he say, and they shall be mine, saith Yahuwah, when I make up my jewels. You know what I'm saying? So when you turn around and you sit back and look at it, we already know the book say there are people already ordained from salvation from the foundation of the world. Satan's objective is to stop you from reaching it. Well, then you'll look at it and be like, well, if it's ordained, how can he stop it? You know what I'm talking about? You've been appointed to it, but yet Yasharal was appointed to many things and fell from it because of the going after their lust of their own heart. You know what I'm saying? But then you have sometime where he say that's like Elohim know how to deliver you from temptation. He'll sit back and he'll pull you back from that. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't have no objective to destroy Job. But Job was going through it so bad and so hard, I got to go get him now because this nigga's tripping. You know what I'm saying? And not only did he go get him, he rebuked him to his face. Came up in the whirlwind and said, let me holler at you for a little minute. He said, let me ask you some questions. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Can you answer this? What about this here? What about this here? But the bearing about of those sufferings and afflictions with Job, you know what ended up happening? He ended up being humbled. You know what ended up happening? He ended up learning self-control. He ended up doing what? His joy was there. The faith was there. The goodness was there. The love of Elohim was there. Because Job's issue wasn't what he did. It was the thoughts of his heart in his sorrows. You know what I'm saying? Well, the thoughts in his heart and his sorrows is where he's looking at, I'm righteous and went to make himself just versus Yah being just. Because he's looking at, if I'm doing all these things, I shouldn't be going through none of this. You know what I'm saying? That's what happened with some people, because some people sit back and look at it, right? Most of the time, and you know the reason why he got like that? Like I said, you're answering for wicked men. Because your friends is coming at you saying, you had to do something wrong. You had to do this, 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 you had to do this. So what he ended up doing, getting in defense mode. Was for getting in defense mode, caused him to speak wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because people look at, if y'all with you, you should never go through nothing. You should never get depressed. You should never be down. You should never be broke. This should never happen. That's just not the case. You know what I'm saying? That's just not the case.
When you get to the point where you just want to give up on things at times, that feeling.
Trust me, I know. Shoot, you know what I'm talking about?
You know what I'm saying? By you going through that just make you stronger though, right?
It will in the end. You know what I'm saying? You're not feeling like that right there at that time though. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? At that time, if that go through your head, like I said, some niggas say that there and they just be talking. You know what I'm talking about? Because they really want somebody to pat them on the head. Oh, you'll be all right, feel sorry for you. Some people feel like that. They dead serious. You know what I'm saying? Like I told you, boy, Sunday, I was dead serious. Like, ain't nobody know about that. But 3 people. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no broadcasting on it. If you'd let it happen, I'd have did it. You know what I'm saying? Because I had done got that low, that point. Because the point of, like, when you get like that, you really quit. You begin to feel worthless and you feel like nobody cares. And when you go to feeling like that, that ain't good. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I told you.
Then you said that jump went away.
All right.
That's how you know it's a test.
He think it's a game. That nigga have been hot. He walked on the side of that house.
Then you like went away just like that. Then you say went away like that. That's how you know it's when you want to teach us something.
Yeah. Because when that Monday while I'm walking and I'm praying, he was like they said, he say, man, put that sorrow out your heart. And it ain't been there since. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you sit back and look at it, right? Then I had a brother tell me, a brother in his congregation came and told him he was going through something. He said, but I felt like I couldn't come to nobody because I felt like nobody would care. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no way in the world nobody in the body of Mashiach should be surrounded by people and he feel like don't nobody care about what he going through. He said that broke his heart for him for hearing his brother even say that. That's just only because, just like I was telling you this morning, most of us don't really know how to, most people ain't never dealt with somebody, okay, they being sad and you got to be sad with them for as long as they sad. Because you looking at they sad and pulling you down when you don't realize that sorrow they going through, if you sorrow with them, guess you know what ends up happening? Both of y'all going to be stronger in the end if you walking with Elohim. If both of you walking, you both going to be stronger in the end. Because that's what Mashiach did. He put everybody's sins on his shoulders, everybody's sorrows on his shoulders, everybody's griefs on his shoulders, and say, I'll take all that, and then come holler at me. You know what I'm saying? Then he turned around and tell us, now y'all do that with each other, and then the whole world will know y'all mine. Then when the whole world see that, guess what they going to have to end up doing? We need to go with them. You know what I'm saying? Because look how they treat each other. You know what I'm saying? You know Christians treat each other better than Hebrews do. When you hear niggas arguing, people talking about, see, that's why I don't mess with you Hebrews. Because the Christians, at least they got love. That's what you hear all the time. You know what I'm saying? Them people love each other. They look out for each other. They might talk bad, but they might be, but Hebrews do the same stuff them people do in the church too, but at the same time though, when one of them church people get down, they feeling bad, them people be there though.
It's like, quote unquote, I know this might not be true, but like we got the law, they got the love, and we need both.
You need both. I mean, they don't have the love all the way, they don't got the love for Elohim, but they got the love for each other though.
Love for each other.
They got care for each other though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not all of them, but a lot of them do. Now we know it's not 100% accurate.
We know they do it more than us as Hebrews.
Indeed, that's really the point of that one. Like they show that care and love for each other a lot more than we do.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Cause I just think about.
Cause you know all we want to do is fly that flag that we Hebrews and argue about what they ain't doing. You know what I'm saying? Then we turn around and look at each other, niggas sitting like looking at boy. It's one thing, and Christians do it too. But it can't be some congregations of them people. Can't nobody pop up and be like, boy, I ain't got nothing to eat, and nobody don't bust a move. You know what I'm saying? Boy, Hebrews will sit back and look at, boy, niggas say they need something, boy, ain't nobody busting a move. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody busting a move. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody busting a move. You'll see some of them Christian people, somebody be down, boy, them people will come 5, especially the women, they'll come 5, 6, 7, 8 deep to them people house.
Every day.
Every day. I'm talking about not just sitting back looking at they came through one day. They coming every day. Somebody calling. You all right? You good? You need somebody to come to the house see you. You need this. You need that. You need this. And they ride until that person get over that. You know what I'm saying? We look at it as, man, that stuff bringing me down, nigga. You know what I'm saying? That stuff bringing me down. Nigga, you making me sad. I'm drained. I don't want nothing to do with you. You know what I'm saying? It's like when we find out we Hebrews, it's like the love we supposed to have for each other go out the window. Because we get caught up on carnal stuff. Now, don't get me wrong, at the same time, like Kira was telling me the other day, if you ain't used to dealing with people in their sadness and that, I mean, that's a hard thing for you to be able to do. Like a lot of times, like I would tell you, sometimes they don't know what to say. But then you look at it as somebody don't want you to say nothing. They just want to know, if I need you, I can touch you. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes for some people, it ain't even the more so you actually being there. It's the fact you pick the phone up and say, boy, you all right. You don't need nothing, do it. You know what I'm saying? You're straight. You need to talk. Shoot, I got a few minutes, boy. I stop by the house, come holler at you if that's what you need me to do. And that can be enough to get somebody through the day. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, and then even in the midst of that, just like we read in Isaiah 50 last night, sometimes y'all just give you a word to speak in due season that can help a man go for about 4 or 5 days. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we got to get past the easy stuff of saying, be encouraged, brother. Y'all's with you. Man, nigga sit back there looking at you like, nigga, I don't want to hear that, nigga. Nigga, you tell anybody that, you can tell me that when I'm feeling good. You know what I'm saying? You just can give something, because sometimes somebody just need this. Sometimes with people, man, in this life, man, boy, we dust and ashes. Sometimes all people need to know is somebody kept. Now, we know that y'all kept, but still you manifested in this life and on this earth, you want to make sure the people who say they love and care about you, that they care. Because once you go to feeling like the people around you don't care, then you start not to care about yourself. Once you start not to care about yourself, you don't care if you live or die no more. You know what I'm saying? Why you think these young niggas out here in the streets act the way they act? You know what I'm talking about? Because they feel like don't nobody care about them. So if I don't feel like nobody care about them, I'm trying to live for the next 5 minutes. Whatever I can do in the next 5 minutes, that's what's going to get me through, because ain't nobody going to care if I'm dead anyway. You know what I'm saying? Who going to care? If I get shot dead in the street today, who going to care? So why do I care? That's why I ain't got no problem rolling up on a nigga, blow his brains out. That's why I ain't got no problem living reckless. Because I don't care about myself. I don't love myself. The reason being because I don't feel it. The same way you hear them corny reasons why niggas join gangs. You know what I'm saying? Because they not feeling the love. So when they not feeling the love, I'm getting masks and gloves, crack, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to sleep with as many women that I can sleep with. Anything that can make me feel like I got some manner of love and care about me. That's why some people go from relationship to relationship, because they don't feel love. So they running for it. They looking for it. You know what I'm saying? Our people as a whole are an unloved group of people who really don't know how to love themselves or love each other. That's why we participate in many, many destructive activities and behaviors. You know what I'm saying? The whole time Mashiach trying to sit back to show you, if you can sit back and watch how I loved you, and then turn around and love each other in the same fashion, it'll heal all of that. You know what I'm saying? That's why we sit back looking at, we've been talking about the weightier matters of the law. We don't need to get caught up on this light stuff, this simple stuff. You know what I'm saying? If it's certain stuff we looking at, and just the same way, nigga, let's just go on through the word, look at it, examine it. You know what I'm saying? Come on one accord with it. Yah's body is never supposed to be in no schisms, no disagreements, no splinters, no nothing. That's never supposed to happen. You know what I'm saying? When we look in the word, when that happened, it was usually wicked men and he killed them. You know what I'm saying? Just like I told you before, you don't read nobody in the word being sorrowful and they went through that by themselves. It was always somebody there with them, and them people went through that together. You know what I'm saying? You read Yasharal mourn, they all mourn together. They ain't sit back and say, they ain't sit around and say, boy, I'm tired of this nigga here, man. This nigga been sad for too long. They say, boy, I'm gonna ride with it. The reason being because that's what y'all do for us. He's not gonna leave. If you stay with him, he's not gonna leave. Now, if you leave him, he gonna leave you now. You know what I'm saying? But he's not gonna leave. And he's gonna suffer you, and he's gonna endure you for however long it takes. And we had to turn around and do the same thing. That's when we'll start putting these people to shame, where they won't sit back and be like, y'all ain't no Hebrews or y'all ain't this. That's when we start putting these people to shame and start shutting their mouths. You see what I'm saying? Because now it's got to come to time of, okay, we know who we are. Boom, boom, boom. But let's manifest that with how we live and treat them and treat each other. That really shut their mouth. Well, they had no choice but to look at you and fall on their face and say, as a truth, Elohim is in you. They had no choice but to say it. See, right now they look at it and be like, man, I don't know what God you serve. You know what I'm saying? You got to go ahead and put them to rest. And then some of the stuff we talking about, I probably ain't going to get into it all the way live like I want to, though. Well, I don't know. I got to go again this evening anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But when you bearing about the marks of his body in you, you taking him on. And when you taking him, like I'm going to tell you something, right? That intense level of depression and sorrow is something that I have never experienced before in my entire life. Like I told y'all last night, I thought I was depressed when I was 22. No, I just was upset the direction my life was going. You know what I'm saying? And what I was going to do. I ain't never felt nothing like this here before. It's undescribable because y'all don't really know because I ain't mentioned it and speak it to a whole bunch of people. It was nothing like I ever experienced in my entire life. And the fact that it went away so quickly, I knew that had to be in him. It went away too fast. You know what I'm saying? Like, bruh, too fast. I ain't never experienced in my life that level of despair inwardly. You know what I'm saying? So I can only imagine what he felt like taking on them sorrow. So do you know what that's going to allow me to do? If somebody else is that low and that sorrowful and that down, I can relate to him now. I could have been able to be there for him, but I couldn't have related to him. If somebody sit back and look at me like, hey, man, I'm at the point where I want to die. Or I'm at the point where this, that, then, the third. I can say, I can feel you too. And can be able to talk to him and be able to help him through it because I know what you're going through. I can carry that with him. I couldn't have did that before. You know what I'm saying? That's without question. I ain't never felt like, boy, literally like, despair. That's horrible. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't want nobody to feel that. Nobody. The way you sad 1 minute, angry the next. You know what I'm talking about? You don't even know where your thoughts. Well, you can sit back and you can be straight and you can see something that'll plunge you right back in a hole of sadness and despair that you wasn't even prepared for. You know what I'm saying? Well, you sat back and thought, well, I'm good today. You know what I'm saying? I think we're going to come up out of this and then boom. Out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Right back down on your face like this here. Bomb, laid flat. You know what I'm saying? Where you like this here where you don't even want to eat. Like you forcing yourself to eat. You know what I'm talking about? That ain't nothing but anxiety, stress, and sadness when you have to force yourself to eat. You can't sleep. You know what I'm talking about? If you sleep, you only sleep for about an hour. So when you wake up, it usually be like 4, 5 in the morning and you up from then on out. You know what I'm talking about? Like man, look at it. It's not good. That stuff makes your whole body up. You know what I'm saying? It take a long time to get right out of depression, man. Like it take a long time. You see some people like, oh, I'm depressed. That nigga be back right in about 2, 3 weeks. That nigga wasn't depressed. He just was sad. You know what I'm saying? Depression make you change your whole view of the entire world and yourself. Then you feel like you crying out to y'all. He's not hearing you. So then you go to begin. If he ain't hearing me, then who I got? And if I ain't got him, what are I even here for? I'd rather go ahead and be dead and just wait till the wake up time. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of stuff start going through your head. That's the type of stuff y'all do to remind you of one cognizant fact. You are a man and you need me. Even if you already knew you were a man and you needed him, he just gonna reinforce that to you. You need me. That when you he get you to that point where you gotta sit back, you gotta look at me. And then he'll deliver. Because he's Elohim that deliver. That's what he does. That's what he does. That's why he sat back and he said, which one of y'all being a father is gonna give your son a stone when he asked for bread? I deliver. What's gonna happen you buy the stone? Gonna break your whole grill in. I don't know nobody try to swallow now. Come on, where we at? Verse 34. They say unto him, Master, evermore give us this bread. And Yahushua said unto them, I am the bread of life. He that come to me shall never hunger, and he that believe on me shall never thirst. You remember Exodus 16? They said we finna die from hunger. That's why he gave him that bread. Y'all ain't after no stone. I gave you bread. Look at 2 Corinthians chapter 3. I think we still holding Lamentations 1 and what that is? Jeremiah, we good in Jeremiah 29. I might swing back around a little. And that's 2 Corinthians chapter 7. You know, the sufferings of Mashiach is a good thing. When you bear about his wounds in your body, you bearing about his sufferings, you becoming, I mean, you being a partaker of him. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean it's got to be as bad as, and I mean, I've been partaking in sufferings of this man for a minute. Doesn't mean it had to be bad as that. You know what I'm saying? Because that was bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of the stuff that had occurred in the last 6 months, he let me know that they were going to happen before they happened. But he did not give me an inkling that that was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't going to tell you no lie. If I'd have known it came to my heart that that was going to happen, I would have gently asked, please let that pass. I don't want nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not... No, I don't never want to feel like that again. You know what I'm saying? Like, never. Like, even though I know something like that might be good for a man's salvation, I sit back and be like, y'all let them feel something else. Don't let them feel nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about, ooh, boy. Like, boy, I read y'all that Job 6. Boy, I felt like Job, man. Man, go ahead and let me have comfort in dying. Because I would rather be dead than to feel like this. Especially when you look at, it ain't one thing, it's 12 things at one time. You know what I'm saying? The type of stuff, if it happened to somebody, you deal with that, okay, you could, each one of them things singularly, it's not going to have you feeling like that. But then you sit back, you get a whole bunch of stuff thrown in your lap at one time. See, that's what happened to Job. That's why Job was feeling like that. So a whole bunch of stuff got thrown in his lap at one time. And no matter how strong you might think you be, but somebody drop a old, we'll put it this way. When the last time you went to the gym? When the last time you listened weight? When the last time you listened weight?
Yeah, what?
Listen weights.
3 weeks ago.
So it's been about a month. That'd be like me taking you in the gym, bringing you to that squat right, putting 450 pounds on that bar and say, get up under there and unrack it. You know what I'm saying? You know what's going to happen to you if you even able to lift the bar up off the rack? You're going to crumble. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't use no deadlift because you just ain't going to lift that off the ground. You know what I'm saying? Or slide you up on the bench and put 350 pounds on there and say, I'm going to help you. I'm going to break it for you. And then put the ball and say, push it. As soon as you grab that ball coming down like this here, wow, crush your whole sternum. Just like that there. You know what I'm saying? And then you sitting here learning like, man, what just happened? You around here looking dizzy. You know what I'm saying? Wondering what just happened to me. Yeah, you don't want nothing like that. Especially when you see yourself doing it. The worst thing you could ever sit back and see is you can see yourself wasting away or being outside of who you are and you feel like you can't do nothing to stop it. You trying to stop it, but you can't stop it. I know some people feel like that when they be out here. I know I done had dudes tell me that when we were hustling. Like, they seen stuff they were doing, like, you know what I'm saying, destructive behavior, and they were like, boy, I can't stop it. Dang, what I just had, man. 2 Corinthians 3 and 14. Not 3 and 14, 3 and 3. He say, for as much as you are manifestly declared to be the epistle of Mashiach, ministered by us, written not with ink, but with the ruach of the living Elohim, not in tables of stone, but in fleshly tables of the heart. Can you sit back and look at it? He say fleshly tables of the heart. He say, my flesh is meat indeed, and I'll give it for the life of the world. So when we come back to Luke chapter 11, right? That's why he say, will he give him a fish for a serpent? Now, why would a fish be important? When we look at anything in the book about a fish. Will I give him a fish? Will I give him a serpent? Mm-hmm.
I was just thinking about the Hebrew word for moon, fish, seed, life.
Exactly. That's what same thing he just said. He just said the same thing you said, just in a different way, drawn out of water. Remember what Isaiah 12 say? Draw waters out the well of salvation. You know what I'm saying? So he basically, when he's asking these questions, when he's saying this here, which one of y'all a father? If your son asked for bread, you'll give him a stone. Or if he asked for a fish, you'll give him a serpent. The whole time he's sitting here telling you, when y'all was in this thing, y'all asked for bread. I ain't give you no stone, because you ain't get no tablets yet when you asked for bread. I gave you the manna. I ain't give you no stone. You know what I'm saying? When you turn around asking for fish, he say before them fiery serpents hit them, right, when they were complaining, they had to ask for meat. They asked it for their lust. He said, I'm going to give you that meat. I'm going to kill you bastards afterwards, though. You know what I'm saying? Because you out here trying me. But just like you said and just like he said, you think about the noon, fit, continued, eternal life. He's sitting here telling you. Because when you look at the fish, you're looking at eternal life. You look at the serpent. Who is the serpent? That great dragon, the serpent, the devil. Who got power over what? Death. You know what I'm saying? Now, you already know, get Ezekiel 18 and 23. Then we come right back to Luke 11. Yeah, we about to wrap this up in a second, man. That nigga just telling me, Troy, you say somebody went in on your man.
Oh, Lamar.
Yeah, he said somebody. He ain't showed it to me yet.
Yeah, come on.
He said, yeah, come. Oh, I'm just tripping on that. They're like, you gonna go in on the man like that? Oh, say some things just call for him.
Not the pistol, the 12 pitch.
Whoa.
That's the right one.
Say he ain't had to do him like that, huh? Say, did he have to do him like that?
Definitely not on social media. I don't think. Feel like a big conference or a phone call.
Yeah, I felt like the way he did it was kind of like sowing discord. Not saying he was wrong for what he said, but
Just how he went about it.
when he was old head and he was really
He an old head, so he go, old heads. Like,
He ain't care.
I think like a grumpy grandfather, but hey,
But he
he
was
old school.
Yeah.
He had already sat down with the man a time before, so for him to
That's
come
what I
back and
assumed.
do it like that,
Oh, he felt like he had to do it in the open.
When you finish, we're gonna.
No, I'm just sitting right there. Now, you ain't got to go into no detail. I'm just sitting like this. I'm just like this here because, boy, you talking about nigga blast you like that. So I ain't got all them niggas on my page.
But look, you like when me and Stanley were talking about, you would easily slay.
Yeah, if he came at you like that,
You
You a slave.
would easily slay it. And I know Lamar would.
got to understand it
Lamar
too.
ain't gonna say that because Lamar would easily slay it as well. With
Understand
understanding.
on YouTube and
But-
say something.
Aside from the understanding that it means the issue, the matter being slave, I respect brothers like culturally saying, hey, respect that. You feel me? Like this the kudash of kudash. You know what I'm saying? Don't walk in here. You feel me? Just don't be taking pictures. Don't be having walking all through it. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what I'm saying. The Levites ain't he not supposed to walk through that. You. If he came at you like that, or one of us like that, we be like, bro, you feel me?
Nigga, I'm be like, nigga, that building is gone.
You know what I'm saying? That's gone. You know what I'm saying? The temple. He
Well,
coming
that junk got
for
like
that, you know what I'm
48
saying?
shares.
But he looking at it like, bro,
Oh, I see it. The sinners in Zion, huh?
Respectfully, don't walk in here. You know what I'm
He went to,
saying?
Leviticus 16.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna look at it like this here. I know this man said not one stone of this building gonna be left standing. So you gonna have to prove to me that that's the actual location, or you just talking. Cause then if you say it is, then you just said this man lied.
Nah, look, it is destroyed and dismantled now. He just saying that area. He just want you to respect the area, to respect that whole.
Well, I be like this here, man. You ain't gotta respect it. Cause if I feel like you gonna die and go to hell, then by all means walk in it.
I told Darius, you talking about that? I told Darius, like,
By all
man,
means.
like, for me, if I was in that position and I had the understanding that what you just said, and I knew that, just off the respect, the brother
I mean,
love to keep that continue. I wouldn't
just because just me personally, I ain't gonna walk in it. You know what I'm talking about?
Exactly.
Even though because
And that's the thing, they didn't walk in it. They posted up on the outside.
Nah, they was in it.
Look, go back to the.
it wouldn't even matter. What I want to take a picture of it for?
Exactly.
I don't want to do none of that. But that's just me though.
Bro, no, because the way they took.
Like I said, I ain't mad at them if that's what they want to do. I'm just saying, me personally, I'm not gonna do it.
Because he already had taken them out there and explained to them like, hey y'all, this is the spot.
Yeah, then I ain't gonna do it then.
And that's why he came to them the way that he did.
Understandable.
The first time they went out there and he let them know. And like, this is what the heathen doing. And then one of the weak excuses that I saw from people that was like, the white man does it. What?
White man blow booty too. What's your point? They rob and steal and kill. But I say for me though, if the brother come and be like, yeah man, don't do that. All right.
Because when he had the keys, he shut it down.
It wasn't
Nobody
just
walking
that
in
one
there.
picture.
You know what I'm saying? I can go for that. You know what I mean? Because I look at it like this here, right? I know Mashiach is the Kadesh of Kadesh. I know, truth be told, that this man don't even care about this temple because it's destroyed, never to be rebuilt. It means absolutely nothing to him. His eyes are not even on it.
He was saying that when New Jerusalem come down, that's where it's gonna come down at, on Zion.
Well, hey, that's his. I mean, he ain't got no book for that. That's his opinion. Because the book don't say where it's gonna come down at. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, Well, they say the boy, the old head, they say he fulfilled Jeremiah 31:6 because he the watchman from Ephraim, crying out.
Well, if that's what he want to tell himself, by all means, go ahead.
You know, he can literally trace it. His family didn't lose knowledge of who they were throughout everything.
Hey,
He
man.
can trace it back.
Well,
No,
He said-
fuck that.
no.
This is what he just said.
He said,
Hold on. Let me read this Ezekiel 23, then we'll read the verse he referenced in. He say, have I any pleasure at all that the wicked should die, saith Yahuwah Elohim, and not that he should return from his ways and live. Let me finish this Luke 11. This man say he ain't got no pleasure in the wicked dying. That's why he say if you a father and you ask for bread, if your son asks you for bread, you gonna give him a stone? Or if a fish, you gonna give him a serpent? I'm gonna give you life, I ain't gonna give you death. Now we just referencing all this stuff right here. Most High willing, I go into it deeper. I say this here, man. I put this out the other day. I might have been depressed beyond measure. I might have been sad that I was in despair of my own life. But I thank y'all for one thing though. Ain't lose no skills though. Ain't no word go away. That let me know he was still there the whole time, even though you feel like he gone. You know what I'm saying? But he ain't gonna whoop nobody.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
Ezekiel 44:9, when it says, "No foreigner uncircumcised in heart and in flesh is to enter my sanctuary, not even the foreigners who live among the Israelites." The one that says in the flesh, the person has to be circumcised in the flesh too.
I mean, remember we were talking with Tony, like it ain't no thing like you got to cut Timothy wasn't. You remember when Paul said we went ahead and did it just for them people, but I would recommend all men go ahead and handle that. You know what I'm talking about? But if you ain't circumcised in the heart, it don't really matter what you do with your penis.
Yeah, because that's the understanding, the new understanding.
You know what I'm saying? But I tell all men, they be like, I ain't circumcised. I go ahead and handle that, sir.
But ain't that in the law though? Ain't that in the law?
It's a covenant.
Yeah, he say he put the covenant in your flesh, but then again, we looking at something that did. Now I ain't got it on tables of stone, but in fleshly tables of the heart. He would rather your heart be circumcised. You know what I'm saying? The reason being is because exactly because he say circumcision is nothing. Uncircumcision is nothing but keeping the commandments of Elohim. Because he sitting back looking at what all Hebrews want to do. We circumcision. But you live like an uncircumcised, so your circumcision is counted for uncircumcision. It don't serve you no purpose.
Okay.
You know what I'm
like
saying?
in Romans, it say that in Romans, he said with uncircumcision.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 22 that I'm referencing. Circumcision is nothing. Uncircumcision is nothing. But keeping the commandments of Elohim. See, what he really wanted to be focused on is, if this right here, if you ain't cut off the foreskin of your heart and you no more stiff neck, what you do with your penis don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because the whole time, even when he told him to circumcise those that were bought in his house, that was pointing to Mashiach buying you with his blood. The man never really cared about circumcision of your penis. It never really was about that. But at the same time, if you look at the health benefits of it, it's better for you to have your penis circumcised. Let me finish this. Luke 11 and 12. He said, or if he shall ask an egg, will he offer him a scorpion? If you then, being evil, know how to give good gifts unto your children, how much more shall your Father in Shamahim give the Ruach HaKodesh to them that ask it? But see, the whole key thing for you to be able to get it, you got to seek him with your whole heart and your whole mind and your whole soul. And you're going to have to plant a garden. Hold on. You're going to have to plant a gardens and die with the man. You're going to have to do it. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's a lot of stuff, right? Not, and sit back and look at the matter you like this right here, right? At the end of the day, okay, it's a relative matter, but in actuality, it means absolutely nothing. You know what I'm saying? That had niggas going up in the uproar, going back and forth, when you can sit back and look at, ain't none of you niggas might not make it while you arguing about this here, because niggas' hearts don't be right. Like they say, look at these sinners standing in here. You can sit back looking at niggas, sinners. So you gonna call this man a sinner for walking around something that has been utterly destroyed, and everything that was in the Kadesh is gone. Where the veil at, nigga? Where the altar at? Where's the Ark of the Covenant at? Nigga, matter of fact, nigga ain't no high priest of Aaron, so it don't matter who go in there. You in a whole different priesthood with a whole different set of rules. With a whole different set of operation. You know what I'm talking about? This man, you really think this man sitting up on high like, look at this nigga here.
Yeah, nah, I don't, nah.
He done walked into my destroyed temple, which I said I was going to destroy and rebuild the ruins of David as in the days of old. I don't dwell in temples made with. He's sitting back looking at the things that was given on the Arats was a pattern after the things that's in Shamahim. It was never about that literal building. Then he said, you defiled it anyway. You got to realize he made the temple for one reason alone. So when I tore it down and rebuilt it, you could get a testimony of my son. That's all it was about. He had Solomon build it, tore it down. They came back at Nehemiah to rebuild it. That was all pointing to Mashiach. That's all it was about. Had nothing to do with the little. He never cared about it. He ain't never cared about it. That's the thing that we sit back and we forget. That we kind of started with that. We done drifted a little bit. Everything that's written in the word that you see manifested in the flesh was pointing to something that was on high. Do you know what I'm saying? That he, in actuality and truth, the only thing he cared about in the flesh was the people. And that's it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't care nothing about the bulls and goats. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't care nothing about that altar. I ain't care nothing about that Ark of the Covenant. I ain't care nothing about that tabernacle of witness. I didn't care nothing about the temple of you. I ain't care about none of that. All I cared about was the people. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted the people to be able to see that these natural, that's the same way with him taking me through that manner of the present, sit back and look, I will take a natural situation to teach you something spiritual. That's all he wanted to do. I built this house to teach you about this. See, I put these vessels in this house to teach you about this. See, I gave you these bulls and goats to teach you about this. See, I had Solomon go through this to show you this. I had David to go through this to show you this. I had Nehemiah to go through this to show you this. I had Jeremiah to go through this to show you this. And all these things are going to point you to one person. Boom. Then when you reach that one person, guess who you done reach? The man who's son him to do it. Then when you reach the man who's son him to do it, then when New Jerusalem come down, or whatever spot it come down at, then you're going to be with him. Because I'll show you how dumb niggas is. Nigga talking about that's going to be what New Jerusalem, but the man said ain't going to be no temple there. Like you niggas read Ezekiel, there's going to be another temple. Well, that contradict Revelation 21, don't it? He'll be the temple. So when he's sitting back looking at the description of the temple, he was talking about himself the whole time. See, I've been saying we were going to go through that and we ain't never got around to it. Maybe we'll do it tonight since they doing all that. But that's what it was about. Ezekiel 40 through 48 ain't got absolutely nothing to do with an actual temple. Well, why they making sacrifices then? You idiot. Look who he say doing the sacrifices. It's the prince. Aaron ain't never been no prince or no ruler.
And Ezekiel, was they describing the structure and how long the cubits and all that?
He describing all of that. Whole time.
Like we doing the Noah's Ark, and he described the whole Noah's Ark, but we know Noah's Ark point to the Mashiach. You look at the length of the cubits, the number is actually pointing to Hebrew words like blood, water.
And we can look at all that. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna see that. And when that's the key thing what they miss, right? He say the Levites come back. You don't never read nothing about Aaron. The prince is the ruler. The only person according to the law that can be a prince is the king. There are no Levite princes that you can read of. There are no priests of the sons of Aaron that are called a prince. You won't find it.
What about Zodek?
Now they use that script. They try to use that script for David.
For David. But he's a priest. He's never called a prince.
Okay.
He's never called a prince.
And then Solomon's Zodak's son was a prince. He was with King Solomon, right?
He was with him, but he wasn't no prince. He wasn't no ruler.
Prince's son, one of his sons was like that. I think it was the first King Solomon.
Let's look and see.
Or if it not.
No, we just shoot. You could be shoot. I could be mistaken. We just look and see.
Yeah. See, it was like first King Solomon, like his son or something.
So the son that says there were princes which he had, though, which is his rulers. Azariah, the son of Zadok, the prince. Now remember, we looking at them, and remember one of the 12 apostles. One of them was what? One of them was a Levite and was a priest. That's why you see that. Remember, this first King 4 is sitting back looking at these are princes or his apostles.
Yeah.
But a prince is a ruler. Mm-hmm. Remember that what he called him. Remember what he called Yasharal is. He say, "Thou art a prince." What else he called him in Isaiah chapter 9? Prince, a ruler. You know what I'm saying? Now we can sit back and look at Zadok, the priest's son, a ruler, to sit back and line that up, or a prince, and line that up with Mashiach, the way he a prince as a priest, going to that. We can do that now. You know what I'm talking about? We can do that now. But what I'm saying making it, can't anybody just go in there and do that? What we're looking at in Ezekiel 40 through 48 is you don't read about the Aaronic priesthood at all, do it. Not one time. You know what I'm saying? Not one time. And now we look talking about the Kadesh of the Kadesh. Only the high priest can go in there and make these offerings and sacrifice. He the only person go in there and do that. If you go in there and do that and you're not the high priest, you die. If I go in there and do it, I die. So what they missing is, then they try to say that's King David. David wasn't no priest, nigga.
Yeah, you born from Levi. That's how Mary was from the house of Levi.
But regardless of her being from the house, Mashiach is under the priesthood of Melchizedek. It don't matter what tribe he come from. You know what I'm saying?
No, I was just saying from him trying to fulfill the law, even though, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but see, but when we looking at it is that Melchizedek priesthood is eternal. You see what I'm saying? The bounds of, it's not a commandment, it's not a priesthood after carnal commandment that you got to be of a particular bloodline.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? See, if you wanted the seeds of Aaron, you couldn't be a high priest. But the priesthood of Melchizedek is not restricted by a bloodline. You know what I'm saying? Therefore, that's why Mashiach can come in there and make them offerings. When he enter into the inner place and he step in there, he is the offering. Right then and there. He's all that. That's why them niggas say there's going to be sinners in the kingdom. Nigga, what? Why would they be making sin offerings? Because he is the sin offering clown.
He said outside the kingdom going to be whoremongers and sorcerers.
Yeah, you not coming in here meaning, and what's outside the kingdom? The valley of Hinnom. Or the valley of Jehoshaphat. Or what we would call the lake where the worm dieth not, and the fire shall not be quenched. We'll look at this evening. Matter of fact, let me finish this Lamentation chapter 1. Matter of fact, we'll just stop it right there. You know, hallelujah for Yahushua. We pick it up. Man, it's 8 o'clock.